On this page we're looking at revising that a vowel plus a consonant plus an E may make the previous vowel make its long sound. So the letter A would say A, E would say E, I, O, U. So female, so getting the A there, etc. So you can see those long sounds coming through, and these are the examples of the phonograms we've used. There are 11 other reasons that we put an E at the end of a word, so this is only one of 12 reasons. We're also looking at common prefixes at the start of some of these words. So let's look at the meanings of these words. So female indicates the sex of an animal that may bear offspring. An aeroplane is a powered flying vehicle with wings. Compete is a verb, and it's to try to win something, to take part in a contest. Complete is an adjective, having all the necessary parts or finished. Could also mean the total or the greatest extent. And as a verb, it would mean to finish making or to provide an entire set. Explode is a verb, meaning it's burst or shatter violently and noisily, and it's rapid combustion plus internal pressure. It can also be a violent emotion or for something to suddenly increase in size. So it has a variety of meanings. Umpire as a noun is an official who controls a game with rules, and as a verb it is the act of umpiring. Include is a verb, and it means to make or contain as part of a whole. Conclude is a verb, and it means to bring or come to an end or to arrive at a reasoned opinion. A costume is a noun, and it's clothes of a particular style or period of time, and it could be of a country as well. As a verb, it means to dress someone in clothes. Contribute is a verb, and it means to give or to help or provide or supply something. You can go through and highlight the vowel plus consonant plus E may make the previous vowel make its long sound. So you've got these different pairs of phonograms that you could highlight. In this section you have to find either the list word, the synonym or the antonym to finish off the table. So we've given you at least one word in each line. You'll have to work your way either side of the given examples. Fill in the gap with the missing list word, so look to the words above for those fill-in words. Use both the list words in a sentence. So for instance, you've got compete and aeroplane, complete and contribute, or contribute and umpire and conclude. Don't forget to cover, copy and check the list words above, and then you're going to use these words in this table. We're going to use the verbs to complete the table, so you know the pattern that we follow, adding the S, adding the ing, adding the ed for the different verb tenses. So just remember that E goes away when ing comes to stay, and if a base word ends in an E and you want to add ed, you don't have to add another E, we only have the one E there. Now add jeune or shun to the base word. So if you listen, you can hear. If the ending is jeune, then quite often you're going to have S-I-O-N, and if it's shun, you're quite frequently going to have T-I-O-N. Now this does apply to the 5 words given here. So if you listen, completion, you're hearing the shun, so you know that you're writing the T-I-O-N. Explosion, you're hearing the jeune, so you know you're going to be adding the S-I-O-N. You can finish the rest of those on your own. Then use these finished words to fill in the gaps in these sentences. Down the bottom you simply have to use the list word extension in a sentence, so you've got 3 words there. We want to make sure that you know their meaning, so use them appropriately in each of your sentences. Don't be afraid to add some interesting adjectives and adverbs to the nouns and verbs in your sentences. Here we're looking at active and passive voice in sentences. So in a sentence, in the active voice, the verb is performed by the subject. So you can see the subject usually comes first, and then we have the verb. So subject plus verb. So Lucy broke the vase. Lucy tells us who is the subject, and what she did was the verb, and then we have the object of that sentence, the vase. So in a sentence in the passive voice, the subject does not do the verb. So the vase was broken by Lucy. So the subject in this sentence is the vase. It was broken by Lucy, but Lucy is not the subject. Now, the performer of the verb may be left out entirely. So the puppy was abandoned, but we don't know who it was abandoned by. So we don't know who did that to the puppy, who the performer of the verb is. So identify whether the sentence is in the active or the passive voice. The bird built a nest. Is the subject performing the verb? That would say, if it is, you put active. If it's not, you put passive. Down here, change the sentences below from the passive voice into the active voice. Now we know for the active voice, we have to have who is performing the verb to be first. So the tests were marked by the teacher. Well, the teacher is actually the subject, but they're the person actually performing the verb marking, and they are marking the tests. So this would not be in the active voice. You'll have to change it so the teacher comes first. So it would be something like, the teacher marked the tests. So you've got subject, then the verb, and then the object. You can try that with the other sentences. Now down here you have to change the sentence into passive voice. So leave out the performer of the verb. So we've given you an example. Dad mowed the lawn. We've got to leave out who mowed the lawn, the performer of the verb. So cross out Dad. So the way we would have to write that sentence would be, the lawn was mowed. We're not indicating who did the verb.